How y'all doing? This is Pastor Carter from Breathe. Um, y'all know what time it is. It's time for another community spotlight. Basically, what we do on this show, we take activists, nonprofits, people that's just doing positive things in the neighborhood and shed light on it so other people can see this organization, see this person, see what they're doing, help them, different things of that nature. I've been personally looking forward to this interview with Cheetara. So no further ado, let's bring her in.
Hi,
Cheetara, how are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I am fine. I am fine. Before we even get started, we got to say this about your name.
Mhm.
Hey.
Wow. Can't believe you. Okay. Okay.
Oh man.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you can kill me later.
Okay, I will.
So where did your name come from?
Well, okay. My very, very, very huge fan um of the Thundercats. Of the
Hey, that's
Thundercats.
what's up. That's what's up, though.
Yeah,
I had to get you with that one. I had to get you with that one.
yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
So you get me later. You get me later.
Ah, man, the smile is
All right. So basically the first question that I have for you is just tell us about you. Like before we even get into your organization and different things of that nature. Um, Tell us about you, and just tell us more about you.
okay. It'll eventually lead up into the organization.
That's good. That's good.
But so like from childhood, I had a pretty good childhood, but I experienced quite a bit silently.
Hmm.
Um, I experienced abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, just a number of different things. I grew up in the city of Detroit,
Okay.
but I also have a lot of family in the city of Inkster, who is still in the city of Inkster as well. I went to James B. Weber Middle School,
Okay.
Kosciuszko Elementary School. I went to Detroit High School for the Fine and Performing Arts. And I also went to Cranbrook's Horizons Overbound program where I do my high school education
Okay.
there. Um, After that, I actually graduated. I was pregnant. I met a gentleman, got and became pregnant. I graduated pregnant. Ended up getting married, having a baby. Um, and I'm a mother of five right now. I'm a single mother of five. I was divorced. During that marriage, I was married for 11 years. I experienced quite a bit. I was dealing with an individual who was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and alcoholism, and that I did not know. And being that I witnessed and was I suffered under abuse. I kind of It was normal to me.
Hmm.
So I didn't notice the signs. I didn't, pay attention. All I knew was that he felt in the gaps, you
Okay.
know. So the relationship was very abusive and very, very violent. And it spilled over into my children. I became very, very ill. Uh, I was diagnosed in 2008 with multiple sclerosis, and I dealt with that for quite some time, quite some time. And it was until I think August, I think it was April 2017 or something like that. I ended up finding out that I was misdiagnosed with multiple sclerosis, but what
Hmm.
in fact, yes, what in fact it was something that um, was very, very, very common especially in minority communities among Black women, something called conversion disorder. Conversion disorder is a mental disorder that you develop from experiencing extreme trauma and stress
Mm-hmm.
um, under certain circumstances. So I literally like internalized everything, and it was killing me. Stress was killing me. I had lesions on my brain, lesions on my spine. I had all these different symptoms that confirmed, MS under diagnostic testing.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, it was something that I had to deal with mentally because of the things that I had went through that was causing me physical effects. Um, but yeah, so that led me into, what I'm doing
Before
today.
what,
Mhm.
just hearing that, I mean, that had to be an eye opener. You know what I mean? And you say this is done a lot with
Yeah.
African American women, especially.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a scary thought.
It is.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
so how did Rebirth get its start? And tell me about Rebirth. What is it
Mhm.
about? Different things of that nature.
Mhm. So, after my finding out that had been misdiagnosed, um, I had my doctor, my neurologist on one side, and a psychiatrist on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in a state of shock because upon this misdiagnosis, or learning about this misdiagnosis, um, I thought I went into the hospital thinking that I had an MS exacerbation. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I was gonna die. I felt like I wasn't gonna come home. That's how bad I felt. Instead, they told me the exact opposite. Everything that I had been praying for, to be released. So my psychiatrist on one side and my doctor on one side, and I said, I'm literally shaking. Like, what do I do? What do I
Right.
do? What do you mean? I mean, about 9 years, I've been, taking over 30 medications and infusions, injections, in a wheelchair, on a walker, taking all these crazy psych drugs and things of that nature. You're telling me I don't have this. So what is going on with me? So it was a real eye opener, to, my rebirth. I had to figure out, what was what. They said,
Okay.
you need to get to yourself. You need to, work through, the things that happen to you, and work through your passion. And one of my passions is helping people. Like one of my dreams was before I became pregnant and married off was to become a trauma room surgeon. I'm like a
Okay.
healthcare freak. So my background, I didn't say that. My background is dentistry, and so I'm
Oh,
a dental. Yeah, I'm a dental assistant, and I'm also a paramedic. So yeah, my passion is really, really helping people. It really,
okay.
really is. So I was suggested to start the nonprofit organization to tell my story and to help others. And I did it that night.
Okay.
I came up with the logo, with the name. The mission has changed upon my understanding of how things work in the world, how the economy, the market, like everything.
Yeah.
So, my focus, like you at first I went in, trying to be all things, at all times, and it's like you get burnt, like, oh no, I can't do all that. I have to focus. I have to
Yeah.
focus, you know. Um, and rebirth focus is what's needed. That's breaking generational barriers within underprivileged communities, especially minority communities, creating that stability and independence through housing and supportive service. So that's how it all started. It's very important for my children, to go through this. It's our healing as well. So rebirth has started through my life, through my experience, through my children's experience.
So, what is your accomplishments as far
Hmm.
as what's the vision of Rebirth? Where do you want to see it go? And I understand what you're saying as far as it changing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? The same thing with Breathe. Breathe done changed so many times because when you first started, it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then, like you said,
Hmm.
when you look at the laws and you look at other people that's already doing it and
Hmm.
how streamlined they are, you go, oh man, I need to work on some more things, or I need to,
Right,
you know what I mean? So
right,
it's a
right.
it's a constant change. But even
Yeah.
in the constant changing,
Mhm.
what's the vision? What's the long-term vision that you see Rebirth?
And I'm sorry, I skipped the whole question
No,
about
you
what
good.
Rebirth is doing.
You
Okay,
good.
so let me go back. Okay, so let me get into what Rebirth is doing really quick, and then I'll tell you the long-term vision
Okay,
uh,
okay, let's
of
do it.
Rebirth. My apologies.
No, you're okay.
Okay, so upon starting Rebirth, what we did is one of the first things we did was a back to school giveaway and a resource access event with the city of Detroit, partnering with the Detroit Library.
Okay.
We had the fire department, the police department. We had Capuchin. We had colleges there. We had notebooks, pencils, pens, folders. We had the whole shebang. And it was our first event. It was amazing. We serviced over 200 families. Um, uh, Upon learning, like I said, what the needs were,
Mm,
um, we started the Women of Rebirth program, which focused on women that have dealt with trauma, um, especially in the minority communities.
right.
And we focus on empowerment and development. We are very, very transparent with each other. These are like my sisters.
Okay.
It's truly like a family. We call each other, we text each other, we tell each other our problems, our issues, and we work, we work through them together. We also have an office there in Ferndale, which is our first office, our home office. There we have a community garden,
Okay.
and it's access for the community to plant, not fruit, but vegetables, herbs, and just have a place of peace there. It also has some resource boxes for food, and also some books.
Okay.
We also partnered with the city of Detroit to do community and economic development, and District 5. We have a couple of multifamily properties and plots of land that we plan on using for transitional and permanent housing, and supportive services. Um, we also, on the one of the lots, we have what will be Rebirth's Literacy Peace Park. The previous park not park, but garden that I told you about, is going to be shut down. We're moving from Ferndale and permanently to Detroit and Inkster.
Okay.
So this Literacy Peace Park is going to be dedicated right in the middle of a Detroit community to promote just some outside educational learning, literacy, not only for our youth, but for our adults as well. And it's really going to be like a peaceful, serene area situated next door to our transitional housing facility for women.
Okay. All right. You making moves. That's a blessing. Like I said, being the change we want to see is very important, right? And this is why
Mhm.
I wanted to start the show, because I think a lot of times people like you that's like, oh, I got to do something, right? I want to share my experiences, share my testimony. And that's what Breathe, and that's what we're trying to build a platform for. Because everybody don't have a platform to say, you know what I mean, what they need or how they feel and different things of that nature. But when you was talking, something caught my ear. You were saying that especially in our communities,
Mhm.
when it comes to abuse and different things of that nature, why, as a woman, as a Black woman, why do you think that's so much problematic in our community?
You're gonna open up a whole can. That's something I'm passionate about speaking on. Um, Minority communities are pretty much cookie cutter,
Okay.
and I'm very passionate about how I feel about that, and about how things are structured and designed in order to keep our communities that way. And I feel that we, um, as Black people, or me as a Black woman, I have an obligation um, in my position to bring what's needed in our community. Um, we have a lot of trauma and stress, not only because of the stresses inside of our homes,
Mhm.
because of our Black men being incarcerated, or you know, just the community makeup and not being productive. Being that the things that are put into our community aren't for our you know. So we have a lot of stresses on the inside, and then when you go outside, you're faced with this.
Yeah.
So when you talk about, you know, generations, you talk about from seeing that from childhood, experiencing that from childhood upward. Now you're dealing with a mindset. Now you're dealing with the effects of those things. So it's very, very deep, and I'm very, very passionate about doing whatever I can in my power, and partnering with whomever else that has other powers, to
Mhm.
do what we need to do to strengthen our community and strengthen the minds of the individuals in our communities, because there has been many, 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 many years of hurt and many, many years of pain, you
Mhm.
know, out of our control. Of course, there's control that we need to work on, but there's a lot of things out of our control, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, we was when I ran into you at the Inkster um, protest y'all was having at the Housing Commission
Mhm.
with Survivor Speak, Trichet, and Duckworth, and different people of that nature. I was just there in support of her, but just seeing what was going on, it really, that's something that hits your heart, because it's like,
Yeah,
man, for people to seem like they don't care, right? Uh,
yeah,
about people that's less fortunate or can't just afford to up and move, so
yeah,
that, me and my wife talked about that. I think that bothered me a lot, just being there and watching that. But I noticed how strong you were.
mm,
And that's why I wanted to make sure that we get you on the show. I thought you did a good job. All y'all did a good job. That was at that housing commission thing. You know what I mean? That y'all made me really realize that, okay, the Lord called me to pastor, so I'm a pastor and
mm,
I'm gonna help people out as much as possible. But when it comes down to activists, when you hang around real activists and you be
mm,
around real activists, you learn very quickly where you need to
mm.
be. You know, so I
Yeah,
learned a lot from y'all. I learned a lot from being there with y'all. That's for sure.
thank you. Yeah, Trichet and Paris really brought a lot of attention to, what's going on there, at the Housing Commission, and with the two babies. And I
Mhm.
mean, it was very, very powerful experience. Um, and like you said, it really touched your heart to see that, people really are in touch with people,
Yeah.
because if they were, then they would care. And it's just
Exactly.
it's almost unbelievable, that people are this way,
And it's sad because, just like I said, I've been to countless different things, but that one really bothered me.
Yeah,
The callousness of with Paul and all these people, it was just unbelievable to me.
yeah, yeah,
It was just unbelievable. But
yeah.
now let's get to, where do you want to see, when this is said and done, where do you want to see Rebirth?
I want to have real results.
Okay.
Let me say that first. I'm going to say that this before I get to that really quick.
That's cool.
The integrity of my organization is very, very important to me. I'm not for money, power, or position. Um,
Mhm.
like I said, this is a part of my healing, my children's healing,
Exactly.
and this is I do not want to be blood guilty. I cannot be blood guilty. This is my purpose, and I'm walking in my purpose with God leading my footsteps. So it's very important that in this vision, I keep God in my vision, to really, really, create, positive, permanent change, within people, within our communities. I
Mhm.
vision rebirth being these communities that you see where you have a rebirth minds and rebirth the aesthetics, like everything, the communities. I don't want to just have this here in Detroit. I want to have this in Inkster. I want to have it in Chicago. I want to have it in New York, and it just doesn't have to be rebirth. I want it to be, all individuals of like mind who are willing to do this thing here and really create and change.
And people like you that's willing to work with people, that's cool, because sometimes you find, and understandably so, people can get territorial.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, because I think it's by right. You know what I mean? That person fighting like crazy for that particular community.
Yeah.
And I think this is why Bree and like your organization want to work with people, right? Not come in and take over, but just what can we do to build something successful, something that can last. Something my 3-year-old son and my oldest son, 20, but my 3-year-old son, I don't want him to have to go through the things, or my oldest son, the things that I've been through. So if we can make that an easier path, right? We can do that. And me being a pastor, I'm all for praying. I'm all for, putting God first, but you have to have action. You have to put feet in front of it. And I think a lot of time people make that mistake. I'm just going to pray about it and let it lie where it lies. And God want action behind it. And this is why I like movers, people that's moving, like you and Allie, Trishay. These are people movers. And I think that's very important, that people in the community understand. In order to create change, we have to move. In order to change the environment, right? In order to change the atmosphere, we must first got to change our environment. Because if that don't change, the mindset is going to remain the same.
Sure.
So I love what you're doing. I love where your vision is at. The same thing with Breathe. I want to see Breathe like, my wife laughed at me. I'd be like, yeah, because I want to start it here, and then I want to be in Detroit. I want to be in Chicago. So it's like you're just trying to. I think I'm ambitious, so it's like I just want to help. I just want to help. You know what I mean?
That's good.
And my wife just be like, "Oh my God!" Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Sometimes we be moving. We be.
Your mind get to going. So it's like, you always got something. And with Breathe, is like, I can be laying in the bed, and I know you probably do the same thing with Rebirth. And I'm bringing this up because I want people that's watching the show to understand the labor behind helping people, because there's a labor, you know what I mean? And even when you helping people, or even in my case, if I'm praying for people or whatever, if you're doing it for any other purpose than the love of the people, you're going to tire yourself out so quick. So you have to have a genuine love for the people that you're working with, because as you know, some of them, you just want to be like, look, you know what I mean? Not today, not today. Don't bother me today. So it's just one of those things that is another thing me and my wife was talking about, that when you step out and be a leader, that's battle. It's time for everybody want to fight then.
Yeah.
I always use the analogy of dogs don't bark at parked cars. You know what I mean? So if you're not moving, people not going to say anything. But as soon as you move, people going to get to barking. People going to get pulling up your pass. People going to get to, you know what I mean? And you have to have you got to have a real tough skin to deal with, and to continue to unconditionally love on them. Because people don't make that easy. That's something that God has to place in you in order for you to be able to do that. So, so I definitely
think that's very important. Very, very important to be transparent. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to connect with the community. Because I'm very transparent, not only about who I am now, but who I was, and who I'm working to become.
Exactly.
So,
like I'm not gonna give nothing up or nothing like that, but on on the 22nd, I'm supposed to be doing this interview for people to, because a lot of times when you open up an organization, people are like, okay, we like you or whatever, but who are you? You know what I mean? Who? And so that's what this, and I'm telling everything is a tell-all interview from when I wasn't saved to all the way now to God called me into pastoralship. And I think I want people to know that about me. I think that's very important to be transparent. And then people can decide, oh man, no, I'm good, or hey, I'm gonna continue, but that's their decision. But at least you have to be honest with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're doing something good, the last thing you want to be in the middle of something and somebody come up and say, hey, you did this and you did that. Let's just get it all out the way and get it all out the way, put it in God's hands, and then you just keep moving in God.
Right.
Another question that I have for you is, how has the pandemic affected Rebirth, if at all?
Well, my ladies, meeting with my ladies, the women of Rebirth. Okay. I missed them, our contact. I had some personal issues, but we literally just started back up our meetings via Zoom. Okay. We plan on having a picnic through COVID regulations. But I miss our interactions, with our ladies. I mean, the COVID has put a damper on a lot of different things. I know we have the development with our housing, just funding being pulled from, the neighborhoods, the communities and stuff like that. Just trying to seek out. I haven't reached the point of like federal funding and things like that. When I say funding, I mean me on the ground trying to find money to get the things done, to run the organization. It's rough because they're like, well, we're struggling and the COVID hits us, and it's like, okay, Cheetara, I tried taking on like a whole full-time job at midnight, and it was not working. And my nonprofit started to suffer, my work ethic and everything started to, and I was like, okay, that's not happening, so now my full focus, is the nonprofit and just trying to work around, and come up with ways, on how to function with a new way of life. Really. Yeah.
You mentioned you had 5 kids. And that has to be difficult as far as not just that it's 5 kids, but to my 1 3-year-old right now drive me nuts. So I
after the third one is smooth sailing.
It's smooth
sailing. And then it's like they ain't even there no more. I promise. What is that? You say? What you
say? So what no comment. One of the things when it comes with kids, how has that affected you as far as being a single mom with 5 kids? You juggling that, you juggling work, you juggling the charity. You got a lot that you juggling. So it clue us in on how are your mindset on keeping all that balance, because most people's mind would just go nuts.
So my mind did go nuts.
Okay.
My mind, I'm just now learning how to take a break. Okay. Whether that's a hour a day and just taking a mental break and saying whatever is there is going to be there when I get back. But for right now, I need this peace time, to get my thoughts together. Literally just probably like a week and a half ago. I'm just learning this, because it's a lot to juggle. It really is a lot to juggle. But I have some amazing, very, very, very independent, beautiful children. My children are as big as me and bigger than me. They can cook, they can clean, they can wash, they can do all those things. I thank God that I was able to assist them and teaching them on, what to do and how to be. My children, is very important for them to see, like I said, change, within our household, within me as the mother and the primary example in their life. Mom is very, 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 very busy. But I make sure that I make time for my children. All things I have to make sure, whether that's, making sure I cook breakfast, making sure I cook dinner, making sure I'm, checking in on what's going on with my children, sitting down, having talks with my children, taking my children places, spending time, genuine interest with my children. You
Yeah,
fit it in wherever you can fit it in, because that's what's important.
exactly.
You learn over time, how to set your priorities. While rebirth is very, very important, and one of the main priorities for me, my children, is before that. But I just my mental peace, my mental time, prayer,
Hmm.
and just prioritizing. I can definitely get better. One of the things I wish I had was more time in the day.
Yes.
Um, but I know that this work requires a lot of sacrifice. And I explain that to my children. In serving others, there is self-sacrifice. And my children, I thank God, are learning that as well. My daughter, she started an initiative as well under Rebirth, which is Autumn's Fight for the Homeless, where she, is feeding the homeless. She's giving clothes to the homeless. She even wrote up a business plan to have a center, for the homeless.
Oh, wow.
So it's very, yes. And I told her, I said that this is what you want to do. If this is what you're passionate about, this is what you have to do.
Exactly.
That's my responsibility to, to set her, up, for what is passionate about. So yeah, just aligning my priorities and trying to just focus and taking my mental time for my peace, and my gathering my thoughts and recollecting and coming back, because this work, you never stop. There's
Nope.
no off days, so I have to take a quick break, release, and come right back, you know,
Yeah, it's definitely no off days. I tell you that. But
no off days.
I like how you said your mental, because that's something that Miss Allie Hughes had told me during our interview, and she was like, "I gotta take time out for my mental." But when she said it, it made me think. You get what I'm saying? I was like, she could make a
You
good point. Maybe I need to take time out for my mental. So
better.
it was, yeah. So when I started doing it, because it was like every day I got up with Breathe on my mind. You know what I mean? I got up
Yeah.
with the church, Breathe, and the church was just on my mind.
Mhm.
So I was
Yeah.
constantly doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I so tired? Why am I so tired?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like you just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until you pass out. But
Yeah.
now but now I do. I take that time for me. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
take my son out to the park and we'll go have some fun at the park. I bring him back home. Then I might go out and sit by
Mhm.
the water and pray and meditate and thank God about the things that He's doing in my life and what He's about to do uh,
Mhm.
in my life and your life. And it's just I just love to see. Especially just talking with you, I can tell you're a kind of person that you like to put prayer first, God first. I think that's a positive thing and a positive outlook, because
Mhm.
I believe in order to have peace, we have to have an understanding of the Prince of Peace.
Yes.
Um, different things of that nature. One more question I have. Now,
Okay.
this question is more. It's basically, what do you feel can be done in our communities to um, how can I uplift, motivate our women? Because I think a lot of time African American women are overlooked in a way. It's always the man working or whatever. He's stressed. And we never really consider the woman and how hard she's working and taking care of the kids and her mental. How is she doing? How is she feeling? Different things of that nature. So what can be done in our community to better assist? Just me as a man, just asking you, what can
Mhm.
we do to better assist our women in our communities?
Mm. When you say we, do you mean as
Black,
Black men?
yes, black man.
Mhm.
As a black
Mhm.
man in the community, what can we do to uplift our queens, our women?
Uh, ah, Great question. One thing that you can do is, I would say, understand. the role of the Black woman.
Okay.
And upon understanding that, will you gain the wisdom of what to do?
Yeah.
Because the Black woman is a very powerful being. Just a woman, period. Um, having both. I was told by a wise person today. Was that today? Yeah, that was today. I had another meeting. The woman. I'm sorry. So sometimes I take a meeting that probably was from a week, and I think it was today. Yeah,
Oh
but
no, you all good.
I was told by somebody very, very wise that the woman possesses something that the man doesn't. The man has this masculine thing, and the woman has the masculine and the feminine.
Mm-hmm.
So if we understand how those two come into play, we would definitely understand, the role. The woman is feminine. The woman is nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
The woman is caring by nature.
Mm-hmm.
But the Black woman is very, very responsible and strong and independent. Not saying that she's independent from the Black man, but that she is very capable of leadership as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish there was a lot of opportunity, specifically for minority communities, um, with Black women and the knowledge upon our Black men. And if we could pull that together, I pray for my kings in our communities, because, I see what's guiding, our mindsets in our communities, and I see what's influencing, our communities. And me, I'm a visionary. The outlook that I have, the vision that I have, the potential that I see, you
Mm-hmm.
know, in the people in our communities. It's like I'm always finding, what if we did this, or what if we could do that, you know. I would get into music, but that'll be a long conversation about the influence with
Man.
music. Um, but we have to really step it up. I mean, Black men, have to step it up, in learning the Black woman, and having patience and tapping into, what exactly our makeup is, and how we operate and what we need in order to be powerful, to support each other, and uplift and empower each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I think you learn in my case, you learn very quickly. You know what I mean? I mean, I have a sister and a mom and different things of that nature, but I didn't really get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until my oldest son, me, taking care of him when he was young, and even my youngest son now, if my wife goes somewhere for a while, and I'd be like, "Oh, don't worry about it, I got him." You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But man, I'd be sitting on the couch like, I cannot wait for her to get home. I'd be like, oh my God. I was like, this boy is driving me nuts.
But you doing that, providing that relief for her,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
absolutely amazing and what's needed.
oh, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. I don't want her. Look, keep the wife happy.
Yes.
That's the goal. That's the way they say,
Mhm.
happy wife, happy life.
Happy life.
I believe in it 100%. When she come home from work, a lot of times I take my son and we go to the park just so she can get some sleep, because he won't let her get
Ah.
sleep. He here, or she ain't getting no sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Jump up and down on the bed or whatever. So I just take them different places. So, but that's how I learned how important y'all are, as far as the hats, and not just that, but having to, by the Black man being beat up, being
Yes.
um, every time he leave the house is a threat of we might not come back. It's we can get falsely accused. We can
Yeah.
so much different things that can happen to a Black man. So then a woman have to deal with that, because when he comes home, he's tensed You know what I mean? And no telling what happened on his job, no telling,
Yep.
different things of that
Yep.
nature. And she has to turn instantly into that nurturer, that
Mm-mm.
everything's going to be okay, but still bold enough to say everything's going to be okay. But I think maybe you should do this, or I think maybe
Yeah.
you should do this. And that takes a strong woman. I don't think all women have that, but I think it definitely, and the women that don't have it, a lot of time it's not them, right? It wasn't handed down, it wasn't taught.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, my father was in my life, you know what I mean? But so when I hear a guy go, hey, my father wasn't in my life, and different things of this nature, and when I was younger, I used to always go, man, that's so weird, and this is crazy, and you know what I mean? But it's one of those things that it's hard for me to tell somebody that their father wasn't around.
Yeah.
Hey, don't, because I had my father. He wasn't in the same house, but he spent time. He even now he drive me nuts. So it's just one of those things as far as our community goes, and I'm passionate about our community. I totally believe we can rebuild it from the ground up.
Yes.
A lot of people say, oh, that's going to take forever. We have to start somewhere.
We do. We do.
We
If
have
we
to
stay
start
in that
somewhere.
mindset that it's going to take forever, it's going to take forever. We
Yeah.
are fully capable and
Yeah.
knowledgeable of what to do. We've done without nothing for so very, very long. We are very capable people. We know how to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything. Who's to say we can't do anything?
So in this part of the show, what can the people watching do to assist you? Because that's the whole purpose of Breathe, is to bring more awareness to what you're doing. And what can people do to better help Rebirth?
I'll tell you, I need help. I'm very transparent and everything. I do need help. If you would like to assist in volunteering or assisting in programming, or being a part of the organization or assisting in helping, with a transitional housing and community economic development project. We need help with cleanouts. We need help with knocking down walls, plumbing, electrical, furnace, roof. We need all those, we need all of those things. You can contact us via email at rebirth, REBIRTHANPO @gmail.com. That's rebirth ANPO @gmail.com. Or you can, Facebook, they closed me down. I'm not sure why. There's a C there. You just got to take that
Which
C
one?
out.
Oh,
Rebirth, it's okay. It's okay. REBIRTHANPO.
all right. I think we got it now.
Add an N after that A.
Oh, it's AN.
Yeah, A. So I put it's supposed to be for a nonprofit organization. I tried to shorten
Oh,
it.
okay. Got it.
ANPO @gmail.com. It gets everybody all the time. I need to fix
That's an
it.
open hand up over here. No, I'm playing.
Yeah. You
All
can
right.
follow us on Instagram at Rebirth, a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
Or you just Google us and find us at Rebirth, a nonprofit organization. I'm currently working out some issues with Google on my website.
Okay.
But yeah, you can contact or you can follow me on Facebook. My personal page pretty much reflects like my life of Rebirth. You can message me on Facebook, Cheetara Heath, if you want to, help out or be a part of what we're doing.
Well, I just want you to know you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We're going to continue to pray and help you. I talk to you later about that, but it's help you as much as we can.
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good fight. I appreciate you. I believe that your community will appreciate you. I see great things for you. So you stay tremendously blessed.
Thank you.
And I would, we would talk later. Deal?
Okay. Deal. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for having me.
Hey, no problem. You have a blessed day.
You too. I'm gonna remember the Thundercat thing too. I have not forgot about that.
You should have saw a look on your face. You was like, "Oh, okay, you gonna go there? You gonna go there? Oh man! All right, I had to get you. I had to get you. I had to get you. I know you would get me later, though.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you though. I appreciate you.
You have a blessed night, Queen.
You too. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right, that was Cheetara, and if y'all want to help her out, most definitely go to her email, go to her Facebook page, whatever you can do. You know, she's very transparent, as y'all can see. She say, "Hey, I need help." So let's give her a help. I love visionaries because they think big, right? They think to a point that people, I believe if you can think it, it can be obtained. That's just how I feel. So I definitely enjoyed this interview with her. That each interview helped me as well. I learned, you know, so it's a great thing. But this will be the end of the show. I just wanted to, I do want to add some things before I leave, guys. This will be on the 22nd. It's just an open interview that y'all can ask me anything. It'll start off by me just telling y'all what I'm about, my past, what led me up to this point as far as being pastor of Beyond Four Walls Christian Fellowship. So that's where we deal with that. That would be on the 22nd. Also, I will be having promoting Black businesses. That will be every so often. I don't want to give it like every week, but whenever I get a Black business that I think that I want to support, we would definitely have it on here. We already have one coming up with Sarisa, but y'all know more about her and all that a little bit later with her t-shirts and face masks and different things of that nature. But I just want to thank each and every last one of you for joining. Breathe, the ones that did join Breathe. If you haven't, head on over to Breathe, 20 Breathe 20. You can also join the church website if you would like to, is Beyond Four Walls Christian Fellowship. And y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. And that's it. All right. Bye-bye.